I've been fishing since about 1978, out of Ramsgate since 1980. And at first the fishing industry was very successful, steady, a regular income and sustainable. Now, over the past 25 years, my crew, which is the people I employ on the boat, I'm a skipper myself, there was 3 of us, now there's just myself, which has been brought about by reducing fish quotas, catch restrictions, which has just meant we've had to work harder and harder to get the same income.
Put simply, these people need more support. In the very early stages of the Common Fisheries Policy, they were effectively excluded from vital access to fishing quota, and we now need to put that right.
The under 10 metre fleet, which represents 85% of the entire UK fishing fleet, are the ones suffering the most. A lot of chaps just packing up now and going bankrupt. It's as simple as that. It is that serious.
The public don't know who own quota. They're told by the government it's owned by the POs, which stands for Producer Organisation. They serviced the local fishing fleet. They had control of the fish quota for their area, their allocation, and they dividended it out to the vessels as they required it. Now, what's happened now, it's become a business rather than a service to the community. It's now become almost stocks and shares business.
We're working very hard in DEFRA at the moment to find out through the rather opaque system we have about who actually does own quota, and we're making good progress on that. But I do want to make sure that as much as possible the fishing opportunities are held by active fishermen.
At the moment we have big businesses, shadowy people that the fishermen call the slipper skippers, and we don't know who they are, and they're selling and buying quotas. That, I think, is something that we need to make sure stops, and that those people who do the fishing own the quotas.
Quota is allocated to fishing vessel owners, depending on their track record on that quota stock. So it depends how long that fishing boat has been fishing for on that stock over a period of time.
My name's Paul Cannon. I'm a fisherman out of Ramsgate. I invested last year into a new under 10 fishing vessel. With the new system that the government have introduced, my boat will not be allocated any quota.
There's just simply not enough in the pot to go round for all the under 10 metre fleet. We only actually get 3% of the annual quota of the under 10 metre fleet. The rest goes to the bigger boys.
The right to fish itself belongs to the general public, but as it stands, they're given out free to commercial fishermen who currently enjoy them.
As far as the under 10s are concerned, because they're not in producer organisations, if they over quota and they hit the key, they cannot go back on it to get quota to cover them. They can lease quota, yes, but they've got to lease in advance. They can't do it in retrospect. If a vessel, a producer organisation vessel, is at sea and he has a massive catch of cod and the chap hasn't got enough quota, he will radio ashore to his manager, and they will organise to lease in quota. Now, this quota will be obtained from other producer organisations, and then that covers him, that when he hits the key, he can sell the fish.
It's almost a cartel against the inshore fleet.
The actual price of leasing has shot up, obviously, because it's a commodity that everybody wants. So if you're leasing something, you're going to want the best price for it because they know that we need it. The skate started off at £40 a tonne to lease, which is obviously feasible. It wasn't a problem. But now it's shot up and it's up to a figure of £450 a tonne now. By the time you've paid your crew, your fuel and all the rest of it, it's just not worth killing them for. So that's another fishery that we're not fishing on now.
Obviously we do need some sort of quota control. But it needs to be fairly allocated. I come from a fishing family that have been on the harbour for nearly 100 years, I should say, and it doesn't look bright at all.
And our only way out is to go down the road the Icelandics did. They challenged it. A couple of fishermen up there took them to the international court, won the day, and they put by 25% of the quota for the inshore industry.
You could easily allocate quota on the basis of environmentally friendly fishing gear, and on the basis of, which areas of the country actually need it. It is public quota, it's for us, or it's public resource, it's for us to give it to who we want.
the smaller inshore fleet is intrinsically more sustainable, not necessarily always perfect, and they do have a lot of problems with discards, but their fishing methods are generally more sustainable, particularly those that are not dragging heavy gear along the bottom.
My impact on the environment when I'm potting is minimal. When I'm netting, it's marginal. Now, when you compare that to a trawler, now their net was dragged across the seabed, has chains in front of it to protect the net. Now they pulverise the ground in front of the trawl, so any small shrimps, crustaceans or very juvenile fish which can't swim away quick just get mashed, they get trundled over by this big mat in front of the trawl, and then the fish in the trawl gradually tire and drift back into the cod end where they're trapped and pulled to the surface maybe 2, 3, 4 hours later possibly, depending how long they tow their net for. Now the damage to the seabed is quite pronounced. You can do a survey after a beam trawl has been through, and it's like a field. You plough the field flat. It's just decimated the seabed. Now, if you keep going over and over the same bit of ground, eventually it becomes a desert.
In Holland, they've pioneered the electric fishing. It's a much lighter, larger trawl, but they use an electric impulse, which electrocutes the fish so that it stuns them so they can catch it. But the trouble is they kill everything else while they're at it as well. And our chaps are going out there gill netting after they've finished, and they've found the ground virtually sterilised, and even to the point that the lugworms have been fried as well.
All quota trading should be done through the government, as it's a government asset you're leasing. If the PO has surplus fish, let the government do the trading. Fix the price and fix the amount per vessel. Why force you to take one species but kill thousands of other fish just for that one thing, to meet the quota? It doesn't work, not in a mixed inshore fishery.